Hey everyone, it's that math magician. On this video, we're going to take another look at angles, but more specifically, we're going to look at supplementary angles and how we can see them in actual problems where we need to solve for an unknown variable. If you haven't yet watched my introduction video on supplementary angles, I would definitely recommend that you go check that out first, because I'm going to assume that you have watched that and you understand what supplementary angles are. So if you have, perfect. Let's dive right into this example video here. We have a problem here where we have this angle and we see it's a straight angle. Angle BCD is our straight line there and it's being cut. So now we have two different angles. So let's kind of look at this problem and see how we can solve for our variable x. Notice, like I said, we have the straight line BCD. BCD is an angle. It is a straight angle, and that means that we know that it's 180 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and just write down that fact so we have it down. That the measure of angle BCD equals 180 degrees. I know that because that angle there is a straight line. Perfect. All right, but notice that straight line is being cut into two different angles. I have this first angle here, which is BCE, being formed on the left-hand side. We know that that's 117 degrees. And then I have this angle on the right, which we'll call angle ECD, where we don't know the value, but we know that it's represented with our x variable. Now let's go ahead and just write down this facts, that we have these two angles. They're forming a straight line, so they are supplementary. So we know that they must add to 180 degrees. Let's write that down, that the measure of angle BCE plus the measure of angle ECD, those two angles, when you add them together, they have to add to 180 because of the fact that they are supplementary angles. So we have this equation here, the measure of angle BCE plus the measure of angle ECD, it equals 180. How are we going to use this to help us solve? Well, we know what the measure of angle BCE is. We see it right here. The measure of angle BCE in orange, they tell us that it's 117 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. 117 degrees. Now the measure of angle ECD, we don't know the value for that angle, but we do know that we're representing that area with the variable x. So notice, I have 117 degrees plus x, and together those two angles, since they're supplementary, they're gonna have to add to 180 degrees. I have an equation now where I have where I have numbers and a variable. I can definitely solve it to figure out what our missing angle is. So let's go ahead and do that. Just a little algebra skills here. I want to move that constant over to the other side, so I'm going to subtract 117 degrees on both sides. By doing so, they'll zero out on the left-hand side. So I'm just going to be left with x over here, and it equals 180 degrees minus 117 degrees. Right? I'm just solving for x here. Well, 180 minus 117, I think that's going to give us a value of 63 degrees, which means that our missing angle, angle ECD, has a measurement of 63 degrees. That's how we use our knowledge of supplementary angles to help us solve an actual problem where I want to find a variable, but I need to know what supplementary angles are. So I hope that was helpful for you. It's that math magician, and I'll see you on the next video.